Today, I want to talk about Casper again. I haven't actually talked about it in a while, and I had a question on that in a comment, and I have a lot of information on it organized to present. So I wanted to provide an update on the IPwe patent and intellectual property NFTs on Casper that is currently in the works. It has been in the works for a while, but it'll bring anywhere between about 7 and 10 billion of value onto the Casper network, which can, should, and likely will significantly impact the price of Casper as well. Now, in terms of just raw price analysis, on the 1 hour chart, it looks like we have turned down a bit over the last. No, I take that back. This right here is the 4 hour chart. We have turned down, and we are likely headed down a little bit in the short term. Same thing shows on the 1 hour chart, but that downturn is a little bit more pronounced. However, on the 1 day chart, we do have a pretty good RSI, and our MACD is on the rise as well. And overall, on the 1 week chart, we are in a pretty good spot. Our RSI is high, our MACD has turned positive again, and our RSI is just about as high as it was when we had a significant increase from about, let's see, 4 cents up to about, what is that? It wicked up to about 6.5 cents back in May. So we are in a good spot. This will happen, and it will work out. We are still very early. So there is a lot of good news from Casper. I believe that they had an update or an upgrade of their protocol as well, which I will explain at another point in time. But we are still very, very early, and they did release a newer version of their Casper white paper as well. So as far as IPwe goes, will the IPwe mint ever happen? Yes, it is so big that they want to do it the right way, which I do agree with. We are used to crypto timelines, which are typically at about the 3 year time scale. And mere now, I think that's how you say it. If not, then I apologize. He has said that in the enterprise space, the adoption timelines are much longer, about 3 to 5 years, and then on the institutional side, it is even longer, where it's about 5 to 10 years. So these things do take more time than normal crypto-centric projects do. So there is some info from, which I actually have on the next one. IPwe's CEO Leanne Pinto is making big moves. On November 21st. The World Intellectual Property Organization held an IP finance event with 10 plus speakers on the expansions of IP values. The WIPOs, one of 15 specialized agencies by the UN. Casper is once again tied in and heavily associated with the peaks of all kinds of different organizations. They are heavily involved in the one that essentially controls ISO 222, as well as I have touched on in the past. So IPwe's smart pools are coming along well. This is one of the most innovative solutions in all of the IP and the data sharing space overall. The ability for shared licensed patents will bring a whole new flow of monetization to the IP industry overall, all through the hybrid blockchain capabilities of Casper. And it highlights Siemens Energy, Maersk. Ugh, that was ugly. And there is some smaller print. Let's see if my laptop on hotel Wi-Fi can keep up. 136 Siemens Energy assets, 129 Maersk assets, 90 plus members, 41 assets between these two, I guess, and 5 members and 9 assets for this one. Smart pools enable companies to share the right to license their patents while also retaining IP ownership. This also makes it easier for other companies, which are members, to access licenses in one technology area from a single source, which is the smart pool, by paying an annual fee. The revenue generated is then shared among the founders of that pool, I guess. IPwe isn't a normal DApp, having a hard time on N's and M's. You could see it like a potential killer app for the Casper ecosystem. Since their inception, they have connected with some of the largest professional global corporates, in return making Casper even more connected and powerful. So let's see how connected IPwe actually is. 25 million patents are being deployed onto Casper following the IBM protocol. The IBM protocol is a framework that was created together by Casper Labs and IBM and includes 3 different technologies. One is the Casper Network, obviously, the Hyperledger Fabric, which then connects heavily into things like Quant and XLM, which IBM WorldWire for payments actually runs on XLM, and I make that point at every opportunity I have. While IBM's Weaver has since combined with Hyperledger Firefly for Hyperledger Cacti, which has a lot of things in there that I do not completely, well, I have not invested time into that yet, but it is all involved with the IBM Hyperledger itself. The parameters and use cases remain the same. The private proprietary information within these patents sit on the private Hyperledger Fabric, while the open access through public markets and liquidity is accessible on Casper, ensuring the openness of a public chain while keeping the information privacy respects of a private chain, which is what Casper is all about. It is aiming to be a hybrid public private chain for a lot of different applications that focuses on enterprise adoption. This is the convergence of blockchain 4.0 and public and private networks that we've been seeing. There was a name there, I don't know. Essentially, IBM and Casper laid the foundations to enable the IPwe vision to come to life, but there's much more to IBM than that. The IBM team is made of seasoned professionals from tech, legal, and copyright space, but of all of their components, two especially, I can't say it, STs. Leanne Pinto is the CEO and co-founder of IPwe, and she began her career in technical and regulatory affairs along with business development. She served at multiple firms for a combined 16 years of experience before uh, uh, ending up with IPwe, I guess. This is where, oh, I take that back. It's IBM. So after that, she joined IBM as their director and head of patent licensing. Obviously, that significance is shown through IPwe's work with IBM, but there's more. But wait, there's more. As for 29 years, they were the U.S. leader in patents filed with a peak of 10,000 in 1 year. Currently, IBM has well over 100,000 patents worldwide, and over 35,000 of them are actually approved. While the U.S. is IBM's main region where their patents are filed, China and Japan are also notable areas. So IPwe's managing director relates to Japan as well. So Satoshi Watanabe uh, brings more experience in the patent space with over 20 years in that industry. He began with IBM, and then he became IBM's senior IP attorney and was even responsible for Japan global services regarding IPs. He spent a total of 22 years and 10 months with IBM in Japan. Coincidentally, we've also seen IPwe extend further into Japan. In January of this year, we saw IPwe put out a public thing about plans to extend to Japan. They also minted a few patents from Japan's patent office. Any IPwe NFT tag with JP at the start is out of Japan. At this point, IPwe's looking like an inside job from IBM, which they are heavily tied into Casper as well, with Casper working with IBM, particularly on their Watson X AI. Then in early October, we got an exciting announcement from IPwe for an update on Japan. They would be working with Deloitte Tomatsu for valuations of IPs, which is a very large financial consulting firm. This works perfectly with IPwe's Smart Intangible Asset Management SAIM, which in return helps supplement Deloitte's existing services with patent valuations suitable for balance sheet reporting and eventually licensing. That right there is huge because I have a good amount of experience in the financial services consulting industry, and they are a massive, massive, massive name. Deloitte is one of the largest and most successful professional services companies in the world, along with PwC, KPMG, and EY. But Deloitte hasn't been the only one. Aside from IPwe's SAIM, they've also created the services of smart pools. In short, these pools enable IPs to be shared across businesses in a consortium. There are four pools: ESG, LiDAR, Digital Link, and blockchain. So far, we have the ESG pool has seen a lot of enterprise adoption, which makes sense. That is just where everything is headed. As we've seen both Maersk and Siemens join in, which are huge, huge, huge international trade finance and all different kinds of energy here. That is in between them, they are worth over 300 billion. I touched on their patents as well. Man, this is a long thread. So IPwe is linked directly into this, as we can see here. So I did chop a bit on that, but that was a lot of information. IPwe is deploying further on Casper. This was on November 21st as well. They saw a Mint 1 contract action by IPwe. We see a label of patent, and it is called out as NFTs representing patents in IPwe's patent registry. A lot of people were saying that this was actually a test, but I don't know. Um, for the past couple of months, we've seen IPwe deploying on the Casper Network, Mint CEP 47 token contract, October 18th, 17th, and 9th, minting IPwe CEP 47 token contracts. But here's the catch. While these are all about the same, we can see the NFT metadata itself is not the same, which makes you think that there is actual or there might be actual IP or patent information in there somewhere. I don't know. This proves progress and continued developments towards different departments of enabling IPwe. And with this information, we see that the most recent IPwe mint looks like there's some more significance. The most recent one has a tech test tag attached that would make it seem like they are testing more things out in private. We haven't seen the two of them put together for confidential testing. Up until this point, everything labeled as confidential by IPwe has been tasks and ideas. In other words, previous testing has been focused towards testing out ideas and tasks for the operations of IPwe, but this contract was the likely first official test of the on-chain patent performed in secret. But what were the other 158 mints by IPwe for? As we covered, it ranged from a variety of other tests and designs, but much of these were actually real patents that have tokenized their way onto the Casper network. There are three patents that he chose. One is an optical code thing, images and sensors, and something about a battery as well. So it does look like there are IP or patent related information on the actual Casper chain right now. There is the public key to go check that out. So the big thing is that there is actual progress with IP and patent related information rolling out onto the Casper network right now. And here is Kevin Cage just reminding us about how large Siemens Energy patent portfolio actually is. And I don't think I've actually opened this up before, so we will attempt to open this up on my laptop. And I do have a MacBook Pro or a MacBook M3 Pro in the mail right now. I was able to get that mostly off of the credit card points that I get from all of the traveling I do. So they have a total of 24,734 patents around the world, out of which about half have been approved. About 65% of that 24K are actually active, and they have a lot of IP out there that can come onto the Casper network.